To order. If Principal Varga would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. If everyone would have a roll call, Mr. Pat
Kelly here.
Pat
And
Kelly.
Gleason is here.
Joyce Reshoot's here.
Michelle Granger here.
Thank you very much. Do we have any public participation? I see we have people. This is always fun. Do we have anybody who would like to say something? And it's a chorus of cheers. Okay. We have approval of minutes from last meeting, regular session meeting September 21st for release. Any additions or corrections? Do I have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I will abstain because I wasn't here. Looks like, well, drum roll.
Oh. Perfect timing, Don.
Terribly sorry about that. I had some.
That's right. This is called on-time arrival.
Yeah, no, I'm
The
sorry.
perfect minute, no problem.
Tardy for Mr. Wilson.
You may have to golf yourself.
I think he's
Oh.
I think he's a minute and a half late.
Oh, that's not good at all.
No, you have at least a 5-minute window.
Window, awesome. Thank you. So report or?
Yes, we're up to
Yes.
you.
Oh, sorry about that. So for golf.
Unless you would like to wait and catch your breath, which we'd be happy.
No, I'm good. I'll keep going here. I've been in AP Gov. It's, I was out of breath in that class. It's taking me
What,
back.
what's the class?
AP Gov.
Oh.
Takes the breath out of me every time I see an assignment. Well, so for golf this year, it has been, I don't know how to say this, it's been awesome. It's really the only way of putting it. Mr. Gubalini, Coach Gubalini, has done an excellent job shaping the team into what it is, and we've actually had 4 wins,
Wow.
which is better
Congratulations.
than last year, the year before that, and the year before that combined. We've had a rough ride, but we've honestly come back this year, and a lot of schools are seeing it, and they are shocked by our presence. So right now we have 4 wins. For our district, I believe we're 4-2, but in total, in the big picture matches, we're 4-4. So we're there. Our next match is on Thursday and then Friday at Shaker Hill, so it's a home court kind of advantage. We're roaring to kind of go for it. We had a practice today, and everyone looks very good at shooting, so we're ready to go. We're excited. But for the high school in general, as of right now, everything is looking excellent. For student council wise, the major thing that's going on now is we're raising our presence for the Massachusetts Student Council. We have decided as an entire council together that we're going to do a book of excellence. A book of excellence is the best way of saying it, it's what makes your school great. It's what makes your council good and what makes the people in your school the best around. And actually shows that with tons of forms, tons of pictures, tons of everything. Last year when we went to MASC, the binders were probably, well, I think all of those combined. It was unbelievable, the size, and I'm very fortunate this year to have a council that is willing to do that. And especially when you see a bunch of freshmen raising their hands, that is a gold mine, and everyone was happy, especially Miss O'Leary saying that we have the council willing to do that. And Mr. Gleason's son, Liam, who is awesome.
Oh, thank
We
you.
love him.
You can say that about 10 times, he won't care.
No, he's really on it. We had a meeting with the class of 2020 with Mrs. Capasso, their advisor, kind of shaping how we're kind of looking at this year and how we're going to work together. And honestly, they have shown, they're probably one of the best councils that we've seen in a very long time. They're I don't want to say they're better than 2017, but they're up there. Honestly, the new ideas that they have, the initiative that they have is off the charts, and we're very, very, we're looking forward to see what these guys have, especially with the class colors coming in and actually representing our school, going back to the maroon, black, gray, and white. So we're bringing that back. And 2020 is actually leading the charge on that, which is excellent. We're very happy to see that. So our school's looking pretty good. We're kind of shaping into what the other places look like, but we're doing it, 10 steps at a time, making giant strides. And I'm very interested to see what it looks like at the end of the year. So we're doing an awesome job, I think, over here. Any questions?
Good luck.
So, good.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say about the school colors. I think Mr. Ramos,
Yep.
the assistant principal, was talking to students about that.
Yeah.
About the school colors, and
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about,
So,
David, if you know?
yeah. So in the past years, the class colors have been blue, red, orange, and green. This was instituted 10 years ago. Before that, there was really nothing to kind of show school pride. I don't know why they chose those random colors. I guess that was kind of on the table at the time. But we've decided, though, to kind of go back to the kind of roots of, maroon, black, white, and gray to actually show what it looks like to be a Panther in Air Shirley. And it's impressive. No longer do we look like Tohoto or, Lunenburg or Maynard at our pep rallies. We're going to look like Air. And honestly, that's great. It's awesome. Mr. Ramos did an excellent job leading the charge for that. He came to one of our meetings and he, told us what kind of this means. And a lot of us are very skeptical of this, mainly because of the financial reasons, of how much money it would cost to kind of switch things out. But he kind of talked us through it, saying, hey, we can do this slowly and make it, work kind of over time. And he was very right, and I think everyone's on board with the decision that has been made, and he'll make our school store very, very excellent over the next coming years, which is actually, our school store has been awesome. I can't give you the exact numbers right now, but I can tell you right now that we are selling a lot of product very fast, and it's doing an excellent job. The bucket hats, obviously, everyone wants one. We're still waiting for that order to come in, but it's very great seeing a bunch of parents walking around that you've known for, maybe 15 years wearing a bucket hat. And it's pretty funny. It's pretty awesome, but it's going great though. Everything over here is going good.
They have existed for a while.
They have, but when you see somebody that you've known for, like I said, 15 years wearing it, the kind of person that's wearing a polo shirt every single day, wearing that, you honestly think they're about to drop their next album, and it's awesome. It's very fun.
Does Mr. Donovan take his off in school, I hope? Because otherwise, every time I see him outside, he's got it on.
Mr. Donovan is a very funny character. He obviously does take it off inside, but at sporting events, he is wearing it, and it is very funny, especially seeing a person like himself, doing that. It's awesome. It's great.
Any large gym shorts yet?
By him, or do you mean?
For the store.
Oh, the store? Yeah. I think those are coming in very soon. Right now, we're still kind of trying to sell that stuff. But from my understanding, from my estimation, that we'll be selling a lot of those toward the basketball season. Kind of just how retail kind of moves around.
Save me a pair of large.
Absolutely. I'll have that marked down. But other than that, though, we're doing very good, though. We're selling a lot of products. We're doing good here. Any other questions?
And all that money goes into the Student Activities Fund, right?
Yeah, that is correct. It goes in the Student Activities Fund, where Student Council or NHS or other organizations working
Right.
with the school can use it at their own will if we see it as a kind of something that's worth putting money into. We're going to be very careful about how we utilize those funds.
Good.
Nope, sorry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
wait.
opening football game, I know, because I was next to you at the Hall of Fame
Yeah.
table, you seemed like you were doing well. How, with the weather a little inclement last week, did you do better or worse?
Well, it was very hard last week, obviously, with the rain,
Yeah.
and it was very windy as well. We sold a lot of the winter hats, which was good, especially for that climate. That's always good. It is very hard, though, with the setup sometimes. Over there, it gets dark pretty quick,
Yeah, it's dark.
especially now. Like yesterday on the golf course, it's 6:20 and it's already pitch black, and you can't even see where the ball is. Thank God, because my shot was terrible for that day. But yeah, it's getting dark out. I think we're looking into getting lights. Hopefully, we can get that kind of set up very soon. And maybe a tent in the coming years. We can maybe put some sort of full, like a I forget. Yeah, there you go, compact tent kind of over it. That'd be awesome as well. But
We'll pop up too.
Don't we have one? Yeah, I was just going to say, we have the canopy, the sports one.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, so we could, that's a good idea. Just what about the lights?
Kind of having that over there. That'd
If
be.
you have a game, he's fine.
I would thank you very much for that because it was very cold and wet, and also the products will actually be able to laid out on the table,
Yeah.
which everyone can see. But people are liking the products though. Everyone likes it. I'm getting a good reception of what's going on. The week before though, the last home football game, a few weeks ago, we sold a lot of products, and we sold a lot of them very quickly. The bucket hats, for example, sold out within 30 minutes, not even. We had probably 20 to 25 of them out there. We were selling a lot. So we're doing a good job with that, but we can step it our efforts up a little bit, and I think student council is definitely showing that initiative to do that. Any other questions I can?
Just a couple about the school store. So when is the school store open? During the day, during lunch? And-
School store, school store is open during lunch, both lunch 1, lunch 2. We are also trying to have it go after school for certain sporting events. I believe the football game, we're gonna keep that open because a lot of the kids are just staying around here. A lot of the kids, especially the freshmen and sophomores, they don't have rides, so they stay at the school, and we want to be able to kind of provide for them like popcorn or things like that. And it's open after school, predominantly at sporting events, and absolutely at the football games, the school store is open. So.
And I'm wondering, because parents could come in, or anybody could come in and buy anything in the school store at some point, so I'm wondering how we could maybe market it to the public, put it on the website that this school.
I believe actually, as of like last week, I've been one of the newsletters. I asked Principal Varga, I requested to kind of put that out into parent email I saw, and I believe that was put into a newsletter. I'm quite sure, but which is excellent. I think we're getting the word out there, and we would love it if the parents would come into the store and look at the stuff, because nothing can embarrass a kid more than seeing your parents wearing more Panther Pride stuff than the students. But
And that is the object of every parent,
It
to
is.
embarrass their kid as much as possible.
my dad was contemplating buying a bucket hat, and I did say,
Oh, yeah.
when I saw the last one on the tail, like, this one is for show, don't please. Unfortunately, I understand that's sacrificing a sale, but for him, I could not bear to look at the side of that, but,
I think I'm gonna buy one,
yeah,
just to spite you.
please don't.
Well, we know what to get them for the holidays.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's gonna be walking around the house with that all day and just saying, I'm a Panther too, which is great, but it's my dad. But it's all good fun. But yes, the parents, they are getting the word out there. They have come in sometimes after school. I remember a few weeks ago, 1 or 2 of them kind of passing by, saw that we had a school store. They came in, they looked at the products, and they did like it. I think they looked at a few of the T-shirts. I don't know if they bought anything, but we're getting the word out there.
Great.
But, yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else, anything?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
What's going on with homecoming this year? Is it still at the town hall or?
Homecoming is coming up in like 2 weeks, I believe. The juniors are handling that. I strongly believe that they are having it back at the town hall. I'm quite sure that is where they're having it, because that's where we're kind of doing a lot of the things now. Unless that's changed within the past 24 hours, I'm not entirely sure. But the days and nights activities have all been organized, and I forget what theme they have. Oh, I should find that out. But it looks very good as of right now. And the board, as you saw
Yeah, I
coming
saw it
in.
coming in, I didn't pay too much attention.
Yeah, it's so we have for our days. I believe we have Massachusetts Monday, Tuesday. I can't recall. I think Tuesday was salad day. So you could dress up as the kind of, it was like a Caesar salad, a Thousand Island, or a ranch. If it was ranch, you dress up as a cowboy. If it was Thousand Island, then you would dress up in a Hawaiian theme,
Oh, okay.
and like that. And I believe that's what's going on. And then class colors on
Friday.
Yep. It looks good. For the night activities, everything looks pretty good on that. We're doing a gym game for the Monday. Capture the Flag is on Thursday, I believe. And Friday is our football game.
Is that school-wide? All the students are invited for the night activities? And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All the students are invited to come into it, show their support for their class, and a lot of the kids will show up for that, I believe. Especially with a large freshman class like that. Hopefully we will see everyone out there. And Liam was very excited for it. I do recall that. He was saying that he will beat me in Capture the Flag, I think, and I said, all right, good luck with that. But he's
Assuming his homework's done.
yes, obviously, as soon as we would not have anyone out there if they had not done their homework.
Exactly.
There's no way of me checking that, but I'm sure everyone will.
We'll be checking it.
Yeah, we are preparing for everything on that, and it looks good this year.
Sounds like good weather, cross fingers for good weather.
Hopefully it's good weather. If not, then a lot of kids don't mind playing in the mud
Yeah,
and running around, and I'm quite sure we'll figure it out if that happens. We always do. Any other questions?
Anybody, anything?
From the football game last year, I think one of the outreach things that I thought was pretty good, the weather wasn't in your favor, is that they had the passes at the middle school. If you bought your ticket, you get in for $1. So that immediately brought in a couple pods of friends. Of course, somebody has to drive the friends here, so, but it also brings some adults. I thought that was helpful. And as you're talking about the school merchandise, maybe a couple of once or twice during the year away games at the elementary schools, because you have parents, you have pickup, and the stuff only fits them for a year. You know, it's an untapped place, and that kind of stuff is a big deal if you're in elementary school. I think that's probably
Yeah.
an open target there.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll definitely pass that on to everyone else in our county council, and we'll definitely look into seeing how we can definitely do an outreach over that. So thank you. It's very true.
Do we have sizes going down to elementary sizes?
I'm quite sure we can always place an order for that. The place that we're working with right now, they are very flexible, and they've been very good with kind of getting the sizes and things like that. But
Well, those things are 6, 7, 8, 9. They're not.
yeah, it's
Every size.
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, we can definitely make it work. We, like I said, we always can make things work out, and definitely we can look into that. But any other questions?
Anything else? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good luck in your matches this week.
You want to fill us in on all your government homework?
There's so much. Where do I start? It's I believe I have something on federalism tonight, and then I have a project on.
Good subject.
Huh?
That's a good subject.
I know, it always is fun. It's a very interesting field. I do enjoy it. I've learned a lot. Ms. Solaire has done an excellent job in kind of expanding our minds into that. Certain things I never would have thought of that are in our government are there, and our teachers are definitely showing, how it's done and all that. So it's awesome. So, thank you so much. Good night.
All right.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Bennett.
Would we like to move new business up and allow Mr. Tebow to go first, or
Sure.
would you?
Yep, Mr. Tebow and then Mr. Vargas, fine.
Yeah, how's that?
I
We
like-
have Mike Tebow here tonight to give a status report on technology. He's our
Tebow?
Director of Technology, so we
Yeah.
welcome him and glad that he's
Thank
here.
you very much.
Thanks for coming.
Good evening, everyone. As you can imagine, it's a busy summer here in the school district, especially with technology. Something we really focused on this year was kind of building up the infrastructure for the entire district. I mean, obviously, a new building like this has the latest and greatest, but we wanted to have that same infrastructure exist in all the other schools as well. So thank you to what's called the E-rate program, if anybody's familiar with that. We filed for some reimbursement, and we're able to get 60% reimbursement on all our hardware, any labor charges, any consultant work, and we're able to bring everybody up to speed, every school with infrastructure, Wi-Fi.
Wow.
We have 100% coverage in all the buildings. There's still some tweaking to be done, but all the items are in place for that to happen, which really
Fantastic.
sets us up moving forward in terms of, we're beginning some early discussions about one-to-one. Where do we go with that? Are we a good fit for that? But at least now we have the infrastructure. The biggest question that vendors always ask is, can the schools handle it? There's a great deal of issues on top of that. But we've set ourselves up to easily handle everybody. If everybody in the school brought in 3 or 4 devices, our network can handle it with ease. So as
Fantastic.
discussions take place, that part we can at least check off, and we're ready to move forward with that. In addition to that, it also allowed us to put in some new labs at the Lower White and Pace Hilltop. We're kind of getting away from that old model of having a big clunky desktop computer. We have mobile labs. We've had those for a while, using what's called Chromebooks. And PH and Lower White, we've actually put in what's called these Chrome boxes. Similar concept. They're about a third of the price of a regular PC. It enables the students to do all their work on this Chromebox. It doesn't save anything there, and then they can go to any device at home. If they're going to Starbucks, McDonald's, wherever, and they can access all their work from that same spot. It's all based off of Google. So we offered both those labs with that. Couldn't do it without the Wi-Fi because they really rely on that. They've been working great. In addition to that, we installed some interactive projectors like you see behind you right there. Those have been a huge hit here. We're installing them at the elementary level. We've had, I think, grade 4 at Lower White. We've done them in the labs as well. So that's been a great piece of technology. Inexpensive, but it does wonders in terms of getting the kids up in front of the classroom. Kids love it. I'm sure those of you that had students that used Promethean boards or anything else, when they went from one class that had it to another that didn't, they were like, where's the Promethean board? They had fun with that. So that was good. And again, going back to the Wi-Fi, and thank you to the Air Shirley Education Foundation. we're able to add more devices to our kindergarten and first grade learning centers. Wouldn't seem like much, but just an additional 2 devices to bring them up to 4 devices has really obviously expanded the use. I'm getting numerous requests every day for more and more apps. So last year, I know was the first year of the program. They were just starting out, getting a feel for it. But I think now teachers are more comfortable having them. Now they have 4, they can do more with them. We put an app page on the website to give an idea of what the kids are using. Some of them parents can download for free. There'll be a great deal more added to that. I got a request for 20 more apps just today. So that's been fantastic. Kids love it. And we set up specific learning centers. So, in the past, it's kind of like, well, here it is, bring it to your desk, do whatever. This is an actual learning center. The kid goes to the table, they do all their work there, the devices are charged there. We're just trying to make things as easy as possible for the kids and teachers. We don't want them to have to go through hoops and numerous steps to get something accomplished. And that's what the Chromeboxes, the iPads, make that a lot easier. We do have a new webmaster that's going to be coming on board. She is learning how to edit the website right now. She's going to a training later this month. Her name is Tracy Carpenter. She's a computer teacher here at the high school. She has a very strong background in HTML. She's done some work with Monster.com. She knows the ins and outs of the website, or web technology, I should say. But it is going to take her a little bit of time to know how to use this website. So we're excited about that. We know that's the gateway to everything. Nowadays, and we have the data to back it up, we can kind of analyze what people are doing on our website. More than half of the hits on our website are from mobile phones. And we're getting, people think, oh, it's only a few people here and there. We get thousands of hits every day on the website.
Good.
It's definitely viewed, and a lot of that is repeat traffic. So we want to make sure we stay on top of that, and I'm excited to have Tracy do it. She enjoys it, she knows what she's doing, and we really stress the importance of keeping that up to date. Nothing worse than when you go to a website, right, and it's the same thing that was there before, you're never going back. So we're definitely staying on top of that. Also new this year is we have a new employee portal, something for the staff. In years past, all budget programming was done in-house. Maybe 1 or 2 people had outside access to it. This new program enables us to do budget processes, requisitions, POs, anywhere, anytime. Employees have access to their own W-2 information now. This portal is going to expand at some point where they're going to be able to view contracts, change information, change demographic information. Really putting that in the hands of the staff. Again, eliminating the step where they have to submit things to the business office, paperwork, exchanging hands left and right. They'll have direct access to their information, which is nice. We're still in the process of rolling it out, but we're excited about that as well. Back to the education piece. Thanks to Mary Beth and Mary Malone, we've expanded our accelerated math program. It used to be a middle school and high school program. It's an online math product. We've now expanded to grades 2 and 5. I can honestly say, I'm going on 10 years here, a little over 10 years, and I can say accelerated math and accelerated reader have been, in my opinion, some of the most effective programs. The research has proven they work. The kids love them, fantastic. So it's awesome to get that down to lower grades as well. Really good stuff. I'm sure a lot of you have seen or heard about the point of sale, or POS. We won't say what people think. So that has actually been a very successful rollout as well. I know Bill Plunkett really took that on. It's a big technology component as well. But going around the schools, we can see it is really smoothed out. Everybody loves it. We have an online payment system as well, if you haven't seen that. That's going to expand in the future. It'll be able to take on, athletic participation fees, parking fees, all kinds. So that's good. So we got a lot of initiatives going on. There's a great deal more that's happening as well. These are just things that we focused on this summer. As always, there's exciting things happening in the classrooms, Google Classroom projects, all kinds. But I just want to kind of hit upon what we really worked on this summer as a tech department. Any questions about any of that or anything else?
Anybody want to ask Mike something?
With respect to one-to-one device, you talked about capacity. Any other things you need to think about that could be challenges?
Absolutely. The biggest challenge, at least in my opinion, is the professional development for the staff. The last thing we would ever want to do or would do is just hand these devices out and say, figure it out. to the kids and the teachers. Teachers have had Chromebooks for over a year now. That doesn't mean they're proficient in using them. But we do know that one item we need to focus on is PD. We've had discussions about making it as granular as you're a sixth grade English teacher, we're going to tell you what the device can do, what programs are available just for you. You know, a lot of these schools roll out one-to-one. They'll send out somebody from Apple, from Dell, whatever it may be. This is how you use it. Here's some helpful sites. Here's some things you can do. Good luck with it.
Right.
You know, we just don't think that's a very good model. And also, we have to look at the price structure, things like that. There's a lot of ways of doing that. You know, what's best for this community? You know, how do we make that happen? And I think also what device? You know, what's a good fit? You know, a Chromebook isn't the best device for a younger kid. An iPad isn't a good fit for an English class. We're not going to say, and is it a bring your own device? Those are all discussions we've had, but we definitely need to bring in some more vendors. We need to do some more site visits. Figure out what works best.
Good.
The other challenge Mike and I have had lengthy discussions about is where do you roll it out? What grades? So there's all districts do different.
It's
Some
all
start
over
in
now.
9th grade, some start with 12th grade, some start with the 1st grade. So you want to be strategic in the rollout because it's very costly at K to 12 rollout, obviously. Plus
Yeah.
the PD piece, trying to train all teachers all at once, it's really difficult too. A phase and approach is much more manageable, and it deepens the teacher's knowledge and it builds. And teachers can help other teachers, and you can build the trainer program too. So we've had a lot of discussions about that.
So to date, we've spoken with Dell and Apple, and we've gone to several conferences, talked to other schools what they've done. So we're in the beginning stages of it, but you know, it's not a new model anymore. There are a lot of districts doing it.
Right.
We just don't want to make some mistakes that a lot of districts have made.
Learn from their mistakes. Mr. Quincy?
The PD part of it must be an exceptional challenge, because if you take a look at the cross-section of the people that you'll be training, the teaching staff, I mean, you have people that were, teaching before there was a web. Now you've got all these different types of devices and different types of platform, and you have new teachers who can do everything they want from their phone. That must be quite a challenge to try to put them all at the same table.
Yeah, it is at times, but you'd be surprised. There are a lot of veteran teachers that have really jumped on board with technology. Maybe at first they were a little resistant, but then they realized, you know, how much easier it has made their life, and also how engaging it is for the kids. I mean, you can, when it's an effective program or piece of technology, I mean, you see it at the kids right away. But and also the same is true for new teachers coming in. They all know how to use their phones. Yes, they're somewhat tech savvy, but it's Twitter, it's Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. It's not necessarily Google Drive. It's not the programs you're using. It's not a teaching grading portal. So there's a learning curve throughout. The key thing is just, it's the PD. PD is the key.
Because it's what does integration of technology really look like, and what does it mean in the classroom? How does the use of technology transform teaching and learning in a classroom? And that's the PD, because we all can use our devices, and you know, even the young teachers, but that's really the key. What does that look like? It doesn't mean just putting something up, projecting it, or going to the internet, or doing a Google search. It's far more advanced than that now, so that's our challenge.
Yeah, and you know, part of the Wi-Fi piece, you know, it's the technology, the wireless technology is being used in all the classrooms. And we've been a Google district for, you know, several years now. But we can even see in the reports that number of documents, spreadsheets, presentations that kids are doing, and the collaboration that goes with that it's gone through the roof, even just the past few weeks. I know it's the beginning of the school year, but you know, you can look at trends over the beginning of other school years, and it's been pretty static. But now they're able to pull the carts with the Chromebooks into any classroom, anywhere. You know, they don't have to wait to sign up for a lab, or they can only get a Wi-Fi signal in this room. So it's definitely improved with that as well.
Michelle? Dan?
So I noticed the rollout of student email. I think that's a really helpful thing as well, so I appreciate you doing that. And then have you talked to any districts who've tried BYOD? Because I'm concerned about haves and have-nots, about families who
Yeah.
can afford a
Right.
iPad or whatever, and then kids who can't.
That's my
I
question.
haven't
Thank you.
spoken directly. We've gone to conferences like MassQ, Freshman College. They're technology conferences that take place every year. One's in New Hampshire, one's in Massachusetts. I've seen fewer and fewer districts doing BYOD. It was a cost issue in years past. Everybody has these devices, let's bring them in. What they discovered is, 20, 25 kids in a classroom, 10 devices, maybe 10 different devices. Not all devices work the same. The teacher maybe only knows 2 or 3 of them. There was a lot of classroom instruction interruption. I can't get it on my device. It doesn't work on this device. The best model is to be consistent with your grade level. So if you're gonna, roll it out, if we're gonna do it for 9th graders, then the 9th grader's gonna have an iPad, a MacBook, Chromebook, laptop, whatever it may be. And then at the lower grades, obviously, what's a good fit there. But a consistent, similar technology is the best way to go. And I think also cost, like I said, was a big issue, BYOD. Chromebooks, you can get them, especially when you buy a one-to-one, $200 a piece, which for a piece of technology, I know it's a lot of money for a lot of families. In relative terms for technology, that's a pretty inexpensive piece of technology.
Would we look to provide for families who ask for a waiver, like we do on a sports fee or something? Because
And there's a lot of different types of programs too. You can lease to buy. You can, the student can have them so many years, they can buy them at the end of the district. The district just
Yeah,
purchases
there's
them
a
and
lot of
signs them.
models.
There's
Like
all
the lease
different
device
models
is
that
all
we've
the
looked
one
at.
because
Like my daughter's saxophone.
A lot of these
Yeah.
companies don't want the devices back. That's why lease to buy has become popular. So
Yeah.
they sell them
Right.
as, you lease it for 3 years. The company offers sometimes a $1 buyback.
Yeah.
It's better off to say to the student or the family, it's yours
Yeah.
at that point. But again, you talk to 10 schools, you're gonna get 10 different models.
Well, that's why a phasing program is important, because you're gonna have to, 3 to 4 years, you're gonna have to have a plan for rotation of devices,
Exactly.
just to keep up.
And that's why a lot of districts opt to do the leasing program because of that. Instead of purchasing,
Yeah.
then you own those devices and then they're obsolete and now you own them. So the lease is pretty popular. And Apple has a lease program. But then, like Mike says, the Chromebooks are pretty versatile and they're pretty cost effective too. So, we spend a lot of time doing our research and so that when we do present a program, it's really well thought out and well planned and will give access, right? Equity and access to all in the district. And I just wanted to point out too that in addition to the infrastructure with the Wi-Fi, the instructional technology teachers at the elementary schools now, I mean, that's a supportive piece, if you will, so that we have instructional technology at the high school, middle school, and now both elementary schools. I mean, we have some elementary teachers here at the Page Hilltop, and when you come and you're in the audience when I'm talking, I always tend to call on you, so you might not know. But no, our technology teacher, Mrs. Mayo at the Page Hilltop, she's excellent. And they're finding it, very beneficial and supportive and helpful to have a technology teacher now.
Right.
Of agreement.
So,
Good.
Mike's been doing some
Anything
good,
else?
great stuff. Has been
So Mike, what is the accelerated math program that we're using?
Yep, so it's an online program.
Which one?
I'm
If you
Mary Beth
remember.
knows the more specifics, but
That's what it's
It's
called.
just accelerated
Yeah,
math?
that's
Because
what-
I know there were a
They
couple
print
of
out
them
these
that are
worksheets.
accelerated math, I didn't know if it was.
Yeah, it doesn't replace the math curriculum. I don't want people to think that.
Right.
They print out these worksheets, they have these little bubble cards that get scanned in, and the scores are all put online, so you can see the
Right,
progress the kids are
progress,
making.
right.
Yeah. It's nothing where the teacher has to sit there and
No,
put things in.
it's very interesting.
And remember, Mrs. Flagg is an instructional coach,
Right.
math coach, so she's supporting the implementation.
right.
Into class, yeah, she's part of that program.
Well, thank you very much. I think this is critical and become something that is advancing every minute, and we need to hear about it and keep up on it. So I thank you, Mike, for doing this for us tonight. It's a big help.
Yes, certainly try.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mr. Tebow.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike.
We have Principal Varga here, who has a I just lost it, on the, on our AP courses.
Yeah, Madam Chair,
A little bit of overview on it.
if I may, I just wanted to, while Mr. Tebow was talking about the POS system, there's a memo, Mr. Plunkett can't be here tonight. There was a question raised last week on the fees, so if I could bring your attention to the memo from Mr. Plunkett, that the fees, we've elected to do what they call a pass-through, so the fees coming back to us, the district is absorbing the fees for that program. So it means the district's food service program absorbs the fees associated with online payments made by credit and debit card, as well as ACH payments or electronic checks. So to answer your question, Mr. Quinty, that last week, we're absorbing the costs. And Mr. Plunkett Mr. Varga, at our last school committee meeting, I had presented you a general report on AP scores at the high school, and the committee requested a more detailed report. So the counseling department and others contributed to this report, and then I asked Mr. Varga if he would do a memo with some of the strengths and areas to highlight for you and do a 5-year plan. So he's here to present that to you, Mr. Varga. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Good evening. I want to start off by saying I think our partnership with Mass Insight Education is probably one of the best things that we've done to move our AP program forward. 2 weeks ago on a Saturday, we had students ranging from sophomores to seniors go to Fitchburg High School from 8 a.m. until roughly 1 o'clock with 2 of our English teachers. And they participated in a Saturday instructional session. And Mass Insight offers this for all disciplines. We are in what's called the Route 2 corridor. So for each content area, there's 3 Saturday sessions that are scheduled at different times. This first Saturday session was for anyone in English, literature, composition, or language or composition. We have roughly between the 2 classes 32 students. We had 24 attend.
Wow.
And what they were able to get was instruction from other teachers in other schools that have taught these courses for an extended period of time. So they could see what other students were experiencing and learn other strategies. In addition, the 2 teachers went with them as well, and they sat in different sessions and learned different things that they could employ in their classrooms. So it was a very productive day. The next session, or the second session for all content area teachers, is a practice AP test. And what will happen, that's actually held here, what will happen is we will get a practice AP exam from Mass Insight. Our students will take it. The tests will actually be sent to actual AP readers, so these are people who read the advanced placement tests and score them. They will read them, comment on them, score them, and then return them to our teachers with enough time that our teachers could go over the practice tests and basically any areas that the students were challenged in before they take the actual AP test, they're able to go ahead and practice more and really hit the areas that they were challenged on individually. Then the third session for each content area is, again, another Saturday session where students go and they receive instruction. It's much like the first one. And that happens for English, science, and math. So for us, it would be for our 2 English courses, Calculus AB. It would be for biology and also for Physics 1. So that's a great service that they provide us. And talking to the students and the teachers when they returned, I actually went with them because I wanted to see what it was going to be like, never having done it before. But talking to the students and teachers when they returned, they thought it was a valuable experience. So I'm very happy that we partnered with them because What I think that will allow us to do is to grow our AP program at a quicker rate than it's been before, and to see improved results over a shorter amount of time than we have seen in the past. The other thing that I wanted to mention before we went over this is AP tests are scored on a scale of 5 to 1, 5 being the best, 1 being the area for most improvement. Most colleges will accept a 3 score and count that as a college class, but not all colleges will do that. Some of the private schools are looking for students to score a 4 or 5 on an AP exam as opposed to a 3. Many of the state schools in Massachusetts will accept a 3. So the reason why I mention that is because when you look at the numbers, which are the last pages of the report, the way that it is set up is we have the total exams given, and then the number of exams where students earned a 5, the percentage of the total of those exams given, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. What's a little confusing at times with the AP is the number of exams doesn't match the number of students. We could have one student taking 4 AP courses, so they'll be taking 4 AP tests. So it's not necessarily a test to student equivalency. So that's important to keep in mind as you look at the numbers. What I've put together on the cover sheet is areas of strength over the past 5 years and some challenges that we need to address as a school. The English Literature and Composition AP course is the longest running AP course that we've had at the high school. Mrs. Whitmire teaches that, and she's been doing that for 15 plus years. She's attended many AP workshops and is actually becoming an AP reader, which will be invaluable to us because she'll be someone who's qualified and trained to read AP exams in the area of English. Over the past 5 years, the students earning a score of 4 or 5 increased, the number of students earning a 4 or 5 from 2014 and 15 to 15, 16 basically increased by 100% or doubled. You can see that on the chart where we have 5 students earning a 5 and 4 earning a 3. So we have a total of 8 students, where in a previous year we only had a total of 4 students earning a 4 and no one earning a 5. In addition, the number of students scoring a 5 increased by 35% over the past 5 years. If you take a look at 2011-12 all the way to 15-16, you'll see that there's been some back and forth, but overall, if you look at the lowest number of students earning a 5 versus the highest number, that's where that percentage increase came from. So again, since this is the course we've been teaching the longest, the results are most improved. And in addition to that, students are most familiar with the course, just from word of mouth. Our next course that we've been teaching for probably the past 10 years is Calculus AB. And the total number of students increased by 40% over 2-year period from 14-15 to 15-16, and that's the number of students who actually took the course. So what we're able to do, what we've been able to do over the past 2 years is advance the number of students who are actually taking the course. And some of that has to do with offering the integrated 1 math class in 8th grade, because it allows students to be accelerated once they get to high school. So they could basically take integrated math 2 freshman year, 3 sophomore year, pre-calculus junior year, and then calculus AB senior year. So it allows enough time for that to happen. The reason why I jumped to overall here is Mass Insight helps us with math, science, and English only. They don't help us with US government, which is our social studies course that we offer. They specialize specifically in those 3 content areas. Overall, our strengths at the high school with AP is there's been an increase in access to AP courses for students. And that's specifically Math Insight's goal. They want high school students to see the rigor and experience the rigor of a college course. So what we've been able to do this year is actually open these AP courses up, not necessarily to just the top level student, but for any student who feels that they can do the work, which means our AP scores may dip next year because we decrease the access, but it gives all the students the experience, which is really important. We had a student recently who was taking physics honors, and she asked to go up to AP. She said, physics honors is too easy. I want to take an AP course. I want to go into physics AP. Personally, not a decision I would make, but good for her. She's strong in science. So, other strengths overall. During the 5-year period, the number of AP courses offered went from 4 to 6, which is about a 33% increase. This year, we are offering AP Chemistry online. We're not offering it in the school. So next year, we will be offering it as a course in the school. What happened last year was we had our chemistry instructor go on medical leave during semester 2, and he never returned. So we didn't have anyone to create an audit syllabus for AP or to get trained. So we've since hired a chemistry teacher who has many years of experience and wants to teach an AP course. So he's working this year on developing an audit syllabus, and he'll be trained through Mass Insight so we can actually offer the course here. And chemistry AP is a little different than the other courses. Students are required to take a general chemistry course before they take the AP. So they have to either take college prep chemistry or honors chemistry before they take AP chemistry. So since the science teacher is here and a consistent instructor this year, he knows the students, the curriculum for CP chemistry and honors chemistry, so he can really fully prepare the kids to take the AP chemistry course next year.
Great.
The last sort of overall strength is there's been an increase of exams taken by students over the past 5 years. Up until this year, actually, students who were enrolled in AP didn't necessarily have to take the AP exam. It was optional. In our program of studies, which we all approved last year, when we described our AP courses, we said that the expectation is that a student who's taking an AP course sits for the exam, because that gives us a tremendous amount of data that we can use for comparison purposes in freshman year. And by not taking the AP exam, students actually put themselves at a disadvantage, because if they sat through the course for a year and they've gotten all this support, why wouldn't they take the exam to see what they scored? Because best case scenario is they have a score that allows them to get college credit. Worst case scenario is they don't. So those were really the main areas of strength that I focused on when I was looking at these numbers. Any questions on that section? Yes?
Yes, Ken.
It seems like a pretty robust offering, especially for a school of our size, but I'm just curious, is anybody asking for anything else, like in world language, or are we looking to add anything? Not that I'm saying we need to, I think this is a pretty good set of offerings, but just curious.
I've spoken to some other high schools, and I go to principal networking meetings monthly, and we're in line in offering really the same types of AP courses that are being offered in other districts. What we really want to do is build our world language program to get students to take AP French or Spanish, which we don't currently have right now. When Mr. Ryan was here, he taught studio art, and he basically helped students create a portfolio for art school, which is considered an AP course because it follows the AP guidelines, but he never submitted the syllabus for approval, so our students didn't necessarily get the AP credit. They got into art school, but they didn't get the AP credit. So we're going to be working with the new person over the next couple of years to get them trained. And the amount of students that are taking AP courses, because of our size, it's smaller than it is in other districts. Most of our AP classes have at least 15. They're scheduled to run at 15, some are up to 20. Some are down to 12 because after the first few weeks, the students who thought that they could do it, decided they may be taking 3 AP courses, and why am I taking physics if I want to go to college and major in English? They've decided that, wow, this is really a lot of work. I need to really think about what I want to do in the future and put my focus and energy there. So it's still a work in progress, but I have to say, with the help of Mass Insight, we're on the road to get to where we want to be, which is great.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great set of offerings.
Other questions of those areas?
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to be spinning around in my head is the expectation that they will sit for the exam, and how that is different, or why that is different from previous practices.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I already
The only
found
thing
it.
I'm spinning around in my head is the change in telling the students that the expectation is that they'll sit for the exams. How was it presented before, and I understand your explanation on why we want to have the data, but I'm wondering if that was a development from feedback you got from students that had not sat for the exams, if any of that was taken into consideration, some of the reasons for that.
Some of it was, because when their peers came back from sitting for the exams, and they were talking about it, the students who didn't sit for the exams were second guessing themselves, like maybe I should have done this. So that was part of the decision. The AP exams are expensive. They run about $55 a test. Mass Insight helps us because they cover a portion of the exam for us. And what we're doing this year as opposed to previous years, because the financial piece has been a burden in some previous years, is we're getting information out to parents probably by the end of October.
Right.
Say your child is scheduled in all these AP courses, here's the exam fee, here's the subsidized exam fee. We'd like to put you on a payment plan because the exams aren't until May. So rather than, especially for our seniors, May, June graduation, prom, all these other things, the senior trip, there's lots of money going out. So if we can put a payment plan together, from November through April, it'll make it a lot more affordable. And that has been a stumbling block in the past. However, students who are free or reduced lunch do get a reduced fee on the AP exams as well. So they'll be getting the reduced fee plus the percentage off that Mass Insight will pay. So that payment's going to go down even lower for them.
Right, yeah.
So it's just, I guess, just increasing expectations, where we're talking about higher expectations. So the higher expectation, the rigor is, you take the AP course, you would sit for the exam, because
Yeah.
that's part of taking an AP course.
There's, right, right. I mean, it should be a requirement.
Right, it should
I mean,
be,
it's only
yeah.
upside.
Right.
And that's how we assess.
If you
what
don't
they
take it,
learned.
that's the same as if you don't pass it. The result is the same as if you don't pass it, so.
Well, I don't- I-
From an
I-
economic standpoint, nobody should not take it because they can't afford it. I mean, we should discuss this. This is not big money. They're
No.
not thousands of exams being taken. I mean,
Right.
we need to handle this.
And we have, that's the plan we came up with. But the other thing is really educating parents. If you have a child that's taken 3 or 4 AP exams, more than likely they're going on to a higher institution. And if you get a passing score in those 4 exams, what it's going to save you, it's, you don't want to be, short-sighted, because it would be a significant savings at the college level for courses. 3 or 4 courses, $1,500 to $2,000 a course, and upwards of $3,000, it could be a saving a lot of money versus $120.
Right. And in years past,
200.
part of the challenge has been the planning of it.
Right.
It's been,
Giving the information out.
information hasn't necessarily gotten out over the past several years that, this is what the cost is, and let's set
what
up
you
a
should
payment
expect.
plan, or if there's an issue, contact us. The increased communication is definitely going to be very helpful this year. Even at the end of last year, that when students were registering, there was conversations with parents during registration for this school year. Your child's taking 3 AP courses, this could cost upwards of X. So that information was provided beforehand, whereas in years past it wasn't. So just the increased communication has helped. And, most students are very aware of really the only way to assess what they know is through taking the exam.
So did you say that was $55 a test? Is
It's
that the final
roughly,
cost?
55.
Yeah.
AP actually just released the fee last week.
Mhm.
I think it was 53 or 55,
So,
but it's roughly
in that
around
neighborhood.
that. And then they'll, as we get closer to the test, they release how much it's subsidized by, the federal government for free or reduced lunch. Basically, they can't tell us that information until they get it from the government, and sometimes it comes really close to the test. That's what we were caught in last year. We didn't get, they didn't get that information until March, April.
And the
Which
tests
means
are in
we
March,
didn't get
April.
it, and then it was a catching up, and it was really a shock.
We were calling homes early on, but the philosophy, and why we partnered with Mass Insight, the philosophy is for us to prepare kids for college and career ready, and to set the goal to attend higher ed institution. And when you take an AP course, you're taking a college course. So it isn't so much about AP, it's access for all to say, if I can sit and take this course, I can be successful in college. It prepares students for the rigor of college. And that's what the philosophy is about, why we're giving more access to kids, because we want kids to feel confident and learn that I can sit and I can take a college course and I can be successful. And Mass Insight, their partnership is the professional development they provide to the teachers and to the tutoring. The teachers that participated this summer said it was the best professional development they've ever had when they attended
Wow.
week-long institutes that were organized by Mass Insight, and were the professional development was offered by AP readers, obviously educators. So that's what the philosophy behind it, why we're partnering with Mass Insight, and what we want for our kids is to build that confidence to say, I can take a college level course and can be successful. Because for many kids, when we look at the statistics, that there's a lot of kids that drop out in their first year of college because of the rigor and the unknown of what a college course is like. So,
We have some of our seniors taking 4 AP courses, and they're athletes, and they work, and they try to have a social life. And I was talking to some of them today, and they say, this is really hard.
I think that's what we heard from Bennett tonight, actually.
And my response to them was, it's a time management skill too. You're going to be forced to manage your time in college when you get there, and we're really getting you ready for that as well. So there's lots of, indirect benefits from this, which kids will find out soon when they move on.
Mr. Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, you're well aware that we're fully supportive of it and behind it. It's why we approved Mass Insights and everything. My concern is that a student not sign up for the second or third AP class because they anticipate not being able to afford the second and third AP tests. I mean, if we need to establish a revolving fund, this is not high money. I don't want cost to be any concern in getting anybody's way for taking on the challenge.
And we've had one-on-one, in the past, we've had one-on-one conversations with students and parents. And, we've always been able to make sure that if it was a financial reason, the student was able to take the test.
Mm-hmm.
They've never been...
That's great, but there isn't anything else, correct me if I'm wrong, is there anything else academic that we charge for? Or that a student has to pay for? We charge for parking, we have activity fees, they're, sports participation.
Other testing, SAT, ACT, are there fees for taking those?
I'm sorry?
SAT, PSAT, there's a fee to take those,
There's
right?
fees to take those.
There's a fee to take the SATs, and students, we're not actually an SAT site here, so we don't offer the SAT here. Students will sign up at other places to take them. So they register online for that, they pick their location, and then they go to that location, and that's where they take their
So there's a fee there too.
SATs.
But not part of the curriculum here, that means the state.
No, we're hiring a.
It's really
we're hiring
testing.
True, yeah,
from
you're
an
taking a
outside-
course here, and then you gotta take a test with that course that's charged, right?
So-
SAT is technically optional,
A little, yeah.
and not part of a course, you're right.
But you know what I mean? I mean,
Yep.
especially considering the amount of money that goes into this, it just, I hadn't thought about it before, and it's relatively new. We've only had a handful do it before, so it hadn't really come up. But
That's a good idea.
we may want to consider, creating a revolving fund aside in our budget to make sure that it's a non-issue. They don't have to even worry about thinking about,
It doesn't
oh,
even
can I
come up.
afford
I
to
mean-
take 3 AP classes this year? Or can I only really, because of cost, not because of
It only
time and
comes
time
into-
management?
It only comes into senior year mostly anyway.
Right.
Right? And, they can't take more than probably 4. Most of them, people would be smart to only take 2, maybe 1. But I think Pat's quite right. We spend, so much of our budget is dedicated to a lot of students who need extra help, and yet we have these students who are our top students, and we're almost penalizing them from getting their extra help, which would be an AP course. And so we're talking about equity across the board. This would be one of the ways to think of that, or could be. And it looks like we probably have, I would imagine, if we have the percentage of kids taking one course out of 400 would be 25. Am I in the right ballpark number there? So, quick, somebody with math, where's Jonathan when we need him? 25 times 55 is not a big dollar to even put in the budget.
No, you might get upwards of 100 tests taken in a year.
That's $5,500,
Right.
thank you.
Right.
And that's, and to have that budgeted. And then, you know, because this is opportunities for kids. I don't see how we can tell them that you have to pay for that.
Well, I think.
We had 3 kids
You know,
doing it, it
if
was
we,
different.
if we reached out to the families, what we did last year, we reached out to families and helped try to determine if it was a financial burden, why, if they weren't taking the AP, and then we supported those families, so.
Mhm.
I think we have a mechanism in place right now
Right.
to manage that. And I think it's worked well, so we hear the committee's will that
Yeah.
we don't want a student not taking it because they can't,
Right.
it's a financial situation. And we have 2, you know, the free and reduced, and then a Mass Insight, which gives, I think, a reduction in, was it $10 or something?
Yeah.
You know, so that diminishes the cost as well. And just to your point, we're having more juniors take AP exams now too. This is part of the
Good.
the growing, so. So we certainly will be mindful of that and not let a student who can't afford it not take the exam.
I mean, we need to have challenging courses, and this
Well,
is the
well,
way to do it.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
piggyback on just what,
And I mean,
You know-
even in the past, I've had conversations with students and their parents, and the students just didn't want to take the AP exam.
They just fear.
It was, you know, there may have been a financial issue, but the student's like, I really don't want to take that exam.
That's fine.
Because it's not, I know I'm not going to do well because I've focused so much in this area instead of this one. Again, going back to the English versus the math, science, physics. You know, the student realized, albeit too late, that they couldn't do everything.
Maybe
You know, as well as they wanted to.
Right.
And we're supporting students with our partnership with Mass Insight. We budgeted, you know, part of it was in a grant and part of it was in our LEA budget. And I did include, you had asked last week, the test tutoring events and times and mock tests. You can see there's quite a bit of support from Mass Insight for students to build that confidence and make sure that they're going to be successful and they're going to take the test. And we, you know, part of our personalization is to reach out to families when the counselors start. There's a date that you have to sign up by, and last year when students weren't signing up, we were then reaching out to the families and trying to determine
Why?
why, yeah.
Please know, I think everything that's being done is being done
Yeah.
correctly and respectfully and very, very well. I put it more to the committee if you know, if we are going to support the AP program and this presents itself, you know, we don't come in the classrooms, we're not going to tutor anybody, but we do have the ability to maybe impact the complete openness and, you know, so parents don't have to say, you know, Al, can we talk? I
can't
really
afford
need the
this,
help.
type things.
You know, it's maybe embarrassing for some, and they don't even want to have that conversation. And we could make it a non-issue. So that's to the committee. We don't need to decide at the moment, but that would be.
No, let's keep it in mind at budget time, that
Great idea.
this should be a line that we should consider. I feel very strongly that we have to push our upper students to let them achieve.
Mhm.
You know, not to push them, but to let them achieve, give them opportunity to achieve. So, good, thank
Well,
you.
the good part is, one of the good parts is, there's more strengths and challenges.
Absolutely. It's all good.
Challenges appear, or areas of concern appear at the bottom of the first page and the top of the second page. One thing to keep in mind, especially when we're looking at school reports for this year, is prior to this year, English literature composition, there was a prerequisite for that course, which was World Literature Honors. We don't have a prerequisite this year because most schools who teach AP programs don't have prerequisites for AP courses. That limits access. So one of the things that I'll be looking for next year is, along with the teacher, is are our scores the same by not having the prerequisite? Did they go
Or
up?
Go down, right.
Did they decrease a little bit? So it'll be interesting to see if, for our students, not having the prerequisite made a difference. And I mean, granted, it's only 1 year of data, but it will tell us something. But most schools don't have prerequisites, and Mass Insight doesn't recommend them because it limits access. And that's one of the things we're trying to do is increase access. US Government and Politics. That course has been taught for probably about 10 to 12 years. And the number of students earning a 4 or 5 decreased from 76% in 2014-15 to 63% last year. It's a 13% decrease. That was due in part to a scheduling issue. The AP exams are in May. US Government and Politics, a section of AP ran semester 1, a section of AP ran semester 2. Although Ms. Hilaire did provide extra study sessions for semester 1 students later on in the year, that scheduling definitely had an impact on scores. Now this year, all core courses are running all year long, so we won't have that issue this year. At the top of the next page, I talked briefly about calculus. The total number of students earning a 4 or 5 dropped by 44%. We had a mid-year maternity leave. Our calculus AP teacher went on maternity leave, I believe it was in January. And we had been interviewing people since October. We thought we had a great person for a long-term sub, said all the right things, the references checked out. 3 weeks later, we let her go. And then finding the right person to teach the course. It's not your general run-of-the-mill teacher. You really need a specialist for AP Calculus. So that was hard to get. So in trying to find the right person, there was some time lost, and that accounted for the drop there. Biology and physics, last year was our first year for running these 2 courses, and you'll see when you look at the data that our students didn't do all that great in biology and physics 1. And what happened is typically teachers they get an audit year. They get a year to test the syllabus. They have to submit it to AP for approval. But they get a year to sort of test the syllabus, use suggested resources. The 2 teachers didn't have any formalized instruction until this past summer when we joined with Mass Insight, and they both went to the Mass Insight week-long institute, and are doing the follow-up PD in October for 2 days. And they came back from the Summer Institute and they said, oh, if we had known all of this before we taught the course, our scores would have been much better.
Right.
So again, that just solidifies our partnership with Mass Insight. So based on what they learned this past summer, they reworked their syllabi, they sent it to AP for approval again, got additional resources, and now that they're trained and up and running, we expect to see improved scores. But again, it's only going to be year 2 for both of those classes. So we may not necessarily see the same type of growth we've seen in the classes that have been around for a while. That's all I have. Wow, I never talked that long really anywhere about anything. Sorry.
No problem, this is
don't
what we
be.
need, this is perfect.
But here's
Good job,
everything, and
Al.
we're going to continue to keep track as each year goes. We'll add on and take a look. And AP changes their reports a little bit each year, so we may have some additional information to add next year.
I mean, the growth has been awesome, and that's what we're looking for, right? So, this is great. This is great. You can talk all you want.
I did let the committee know that Melanie Whitmire wants to go to, she wants to become an AP reader,
Yes.
so we're gonna support her in going. When's that, like May?
The end of May, beginning of June.
Yes, so we're gonna.
Where's she
give her
going? I
the-
couldn't hear you.
She, one of the teachers here wants to be an AP reader, which
Oh,
is
nice.
an
Right.
excellent skill set to have. You know, a faculty on staff that has that training, because then that even strengthens
Sure.
the course, so we're happy for that. So we told her certainly would support her to, she has to go, where does she have to go? She goes away for that training, I think it was.
She's going to Chicago.
Chicago, yeah,
Yeah.
for a week.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
to go train.
And that will change the way she teaches, because becoming a reader,
Right.
she's gonna
Then you know what they want.
exactly
Right.
what they're looking for
Yeah.
in these exams.
That's excellent.
right.
So we should even see better scores in English, literature, composition, which comes back.
Right, it's like how we teach in the classes, teaching with the end in mind. What is the objective? What is the goal? And then you teach them the goal, right?
It was affirming to hear you say that the biology and physics teachers thought that our scores would be better, because that's what you need, because it's the score of the students and the teachers. You have to provide both of those, and to have that level of ownership is very good to hear.
So I think one of the discussions, and maybe I've just forgotten it all, which could be, but maybe did some of the students not want to take the AP exam because it would reflect on their class rank, which I know is our discussion that's ongoing. I didn't hear the end of it. And waiting what the grades were from the AP versus another course and how that was worked out. Are we still working on that? Was that one of the things that we run into on this?
The credits are weighted differently.
Yeah,
A CP course versus an honors level course versus an AP course.
Mhm.
There's a difference in credits
and different.
assigned to each course. So
Weight to-
even if a student is taking an AP course, they'll receive a different amount of credits than if they were taking a CP course, as long as they passed the course. So.
But they earn a grade in the class, the AP test itself is completely separate.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, the
Yeah.
That's
AP
what I
exam
wanted to
doesn't
understand.
The
impact
test
class
itself doesn't
ranking.
affect their course
Right,
grade.
Right.
Right. Okay.
So wouldn't a college see that they took an AP class and also see that they didn't take the test? Like, right? Wouldn't the?
They could, and actually, that was when we had the kickoff here for the students, that was part of the presentation, to say that's another good piece, that the AP courses on your transcript really gives you a leg up in college admissions, because they're looking for students who have successfully completed a college course. And so that AP exam would impact that.
So you would
My-
get extra notice, but you wouldn't get credit for a course in school.
My point is though, like, so say you had AP physics on your transcript.
Yep.
Wouldn't the college then say, okay, what'd you score on the AP test? And if you say, well, I didn't take the AP test, I would think the college would be like, well, that's kind of strange. Like, why wouldn't you take the test? And that doesn't really tell me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
just think
I-
that you maybe would question why someone wouldn't take the test if they're in the course.
Some will.
To
Some
me, I would
definitely
say,
will.
okay,
Why
you know.
did you take it?
Mhm.
And some of that can be addressed when students apply to colleges. It can be addressed in the recommendation from our guidance department. For example, the counselors have to write letters of recommendations
Okay.
for students. So if there's a W on their transcript, which means they withdrew from a class, in the counselor's letter, they would write, this student withdrew from this class, the grade's a W, because it was after the deadline, but they withdrew from this class to take an honors level course or an AP course. So they would provide, for example, if a student didn't take the AP test because they were out for a medical reason,
Right,
they would be able to explain that in their letter to the school.
that's helpful, yeah. I guess I'm just thinking in my head, if I was looking at someone's transcript, I'd want to know, well, am I going to give them college credit for this? And then, so then I would say, well, did you take, what'd you get on the test? And then if someone said, I didn't take the test, I
And
don't
part of
know.
the application process is they have to, students when they're applying have to indicate which colleges they want to see their AP scores which colleges they want to see their SAT scores, and things of that nature. They actually have to identify it, and they do that based on a lot of times what the college requires, because sometimes SATs for college is optional, so a student will choose maybe not to share them if they didn't do as well as they wanted to. And they could do that with AP too, if they got a 1 or 2 in the test, they could share, they could indicate not to share the AP scores.
So they know their grade before they had to make that decision?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's not going to college.
Seniors may not, seniors may already be
We don't have enough
accepted,
time, yeah.
because the test isn't until May.
Right.
But
a
sophomores and juniors don't know their scores. They come out typically late summer.
Anyone else? Thank you very much, Al. We really appreciate this. And
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Come anytime. Well, that was great. So I figure they should go first, so they might have to do some work, not that you don't. So, Mary, we
Sure, I'll
have
continue my report.
superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And first, under teaching and learning is the advanced placement report from Mr. Varga.
There you go.
Mr. Varga. Second bullet, Mass Insight recognized A.S. Shirley Regional School District for joining their advanced placement STEM and English program for the 2016-2017 school year. And it was a wonderful event held at the State House last week. I was joined by Mr. Varga and humanities teacher Mrs. Capasso, and quite a few state rep. Sheila Harrington joined us, so she was there. You might have seen the picture on Facebook. Speaker DeLeo opened it up, so it was quite an honor to be there, and we felt very proud. We were joined by 9 other high schools that have joined Mass Insight. The legislature actually funds Mass Insight.
Right.
It's a line item in the budget, so they're very supportive of it. So that was really was nice. And AP tutoring dates, I gave you the calendar, so that speaks for itself. And Al already mentioned that 24 out of 32 students attended the tutoring session at Fitchburg High School. And I would like to note that feedback from the students, not only on the quality of the tutoring, was how much they appreciate their brand new high school. From going to Fitchburg High, so it's, and the teachers as well.
It's a relatively new building too, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that old.
Fitchburg's not very old.
Fitchburg High School? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Fitchburg High School was
Yeah.
rebuilt
Unless
within
they
the
were in the
last
old one.
15 years.
Must have been in the old one.
Yeah, they must
15
have,
years,
because they
right?
did
Tough
not.
years.
The new one's not bad. I've been to the, they have nice beautiful indoor track
Yeah,
and field
yeah.
Yeah,
house.
they got a whole big field house there.
Yeah, no. I don't.
They must have gone the old one.
Maybe they sent them up to the old one on
Yeah,
the hill,
Yeah.
not the new one in the backyard.
That was the feedback, so.
Right?
Well, sometimes when your 16, 15-year-old building feels like, I mean, that's your life.
Yeah, who
so.
knows, right, yeah, right.
Might be old.
So they were happy to be a member of the A.S. Shirley Regional High School.
There you go.
Class rank presentation, Mr. John Crow it will be held on November 16th
Right.
in the auditorium at the high school. And, I finished my sentence here. Mr. Crow is the guidance director at Neshoba, Wachusett, I'm sorry. And then Mr. Gleason shared an article on Shrewsbury High School, who is considering abolishing the practice of school ranking, and that's in your packet, if you're reading, put that in there. MCAS PAC parent reports are being mailed tomorrow. We had 5 girls work together today, and they stuffed all the envelopes, so we're happy to get those out. I'm going to go back to the review of the MCAS press release. The A. Shirley Regional is one of 5 Massachusetts school districts to be awarded a $10,000 grant by the Apperson Group for the purpose of assisting educators in screening, monitoring, and assessing our students' social and emotional learning. Funds will be used in the elementary schools and the middle school to provide training to educators and administrators on the EVO social emotional assessment tool. Provide access to an extensive PD video library, which includes information on evidence-based interventions for student at risk, and provides no-cost online student licensing for the assessment tool. Mrs. Hamill and Mrs. Dolan co-wrote the grant and reference referral data from the William James Interface report. As you know, there's a curricula, a social emotional learning, so we will be adopting a curriculum on that. Mrs. Betsy Dolan is the K to 12 curriculum leader. So they're going to be working on the social emotional learning piece too, which is also part of our action plan. So we're happy to get that grant. And then Mary Beth, who's been working on the MMSP continuation grant, it was extended, right? So you want to just finish that off? Then you've got $217,000 for the consortium, right? So each district gets a portion.
Right. So this year, we are still in the process of training secondary teachers in at WPI in coursework targeting physical sciences and modeling, which is a practice, a behavior that we want to see students engaging in the learning of science. And that's a federal grant, and we were contacted over the summer by a Department of Ed science staff member who said they believed that there were going to be additional funds involved or available, and would we be interested in applying. So the consortium applied with the idea that this time we'll focus on the younger grades, K-8, and we've been awarded a 2-year grant. The first set of funds is the dollar amount in the superintendent's report, which is, I believe, $217,000 for 2017. That will essentially buy us 4 to 5 seats in the WPI course for our district, as it did this year. And then again in 2018 is another round of continuation funds. So we expect to be able to train at least 8 to 10 teachers in graduate level coursework, very rigorous coursework at WPI, and no cost to the teacher.
Excellent,
So,
Thank you, Mary Beth.
fantastic.
excellent.
Operations and management, my school bucks, I had a memo which we already went over. And the Mars has a general meeting, and the first meeting will be held next Tuesday, October 11th, from 9:30 a.m. to noon at Assabet Valley Regional Technical High School in Marlboro. The meeting is in the lecture hall, and the topic for the meeting is regional district, school district insurance. And they have 3 presentations on risk management, health insurance, and legal and collective bargaining issues. So school committee members are invited to attend. And then I also included a memo from the town of Erin scholarships available for 2017, which of course we've sent over to the high school. I'm going to go back to the MCAS report when I finish this. There's no updates in personnel. The high school project, it is just about complete with the exception of the landscaping. It is not feasible to plant grass given the drought conditions and water ban. So we've reached an agreement with Consigli that they will issue a surety bond for $40,000, which is the piece left for Manuel. So they'll return in the spring to complete their work. And the final school building committee meeting will be held next Thursday, which is October 13th at 5 p.m. right here in the LGI room. And the school building committee members will attend the school committee meeting on October 19th.
Pat's going to miss all those Thursdays. I wonder what to do with himself on Thursday evening.
No, none of us,
And
yeah.
Joyce,
He'll
too.
come sit in the room by himself.
Well, Thursday at
Well,
5
the
o'clock
preview.
is just like the best time of my life.
Yeah, last year we had negotiations, we had school building committee, we had, so it.
I actually have a business that runs at 5 o'clock on Thursday.
Newsmakers, Paul Jean, 7th grade at the A. Shirley Region Middle School, is one of a select group of young people to receive the Boston Bruins Award for his outstanding participation in the Hazen Memorial Library Summer Reading Program.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes. Jennifer McGrath received a letter of commendation from the National Merit Scholarship Program, and I included a congratulatory letter to Ms. McGrath and Principal Varga. You wrote a very nice
This
letter
is
to her.
quite an honor.
Yep. The MIAA Endowment Fund Committee awarded A. Shirley Regional High School a grant for $605, which covers the registration fee for 11 people from the school district to attend the opioid misuse prevention conference on March 24th. Mr. Varga applied for this grant and received it, and we'll be sending 6 teachers from A. Shirley Regional Middle School and 5 from the high school. And the conference topics are the nature of addiction, teen brain development, signs and symptoms of use, prevalence of heroin in communities, supporting students, returning to school post-rehab, community coalitions, and personal recovery stories. A. Shirley Regional High School earns a place in the MIA 2015-2016 Sportsmanship Honor Roll. So congratulations to the athletes and coaches.
Great.
October is National Principals Month. It is dedicated to all the great principals who make great schools. And I know the school committee joins me in celebrating and thanking Mr. Deppie, Mrs. Akey, Mr. Varga, and Mrs. Peterson for their hard work and dedication on behalf of the students under their care. And congratulations to Jillian Schlipp, who has been accepted into the Women in Technology program at Bay Systems. WIT, which is the acronym for Women in Technology, is a collaborative effort between local area high schools and Bay Systems. This program fosters an interest among high school females in the technical field by exposing the students to various technical careers and providing support and guidance from Bay Systems. And Jillian will be participating in an orientation, technical rotations such as the following: software mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, microwave engineering, signal processing, and failure analysis. In addition, at the completion of the program, she will receive certificates of completion and will be given the chance to share her WIT experience with Bay Systems mentor, parents, and high school coordinators.
Wow.
So that's pretty good as well.
So that's generally Christine Miska's efforts, I believe,
Yeah.
on this. So, she's our robotics coach. She has gotten other girls in the past into this program. It's her employer, British Aerospace or BAE Systems. And generally I've seen the students that come out of that want to be engineers and they end up at a WPI or some other prestigious kind of engineering program. So it's excellent that Chris continues to do this for some of our students to help them get them in this program, and that the school cooperates, because it's a amount of school time to let the kid go down to the corporate office and do the program as well. So it's nice that we allow for that flexibility in the schedule to help the students. So it's a great achievement. Congratulations to Jill.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And thanks to Chris.
Yeah, and she did, she's our district robotics coordinator too, Mrs. Miska too, so which
And
is
they're
gonna be really
starting,
nice.
they're starting this Thursday.
Yeah, program's up.
Team's starting.
And the other thing I just put in you, this is every week we get, the superintendents get a week in review on the legislative level, and I just thought it was nice where you see DeLeo Pizer. I really felt proud, because this goes out to, I didn't give you the whole newsletter, but it's sent out to all the superintendents in the Commonwealth, so, and others. So I thought that was nice to see our name
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
there. And I gave you an updated report, the report that I released when the Park and MCAT scores were publicly released, and I just put it on if you had any questions about what I've written. On the 19th, we will be providing you a detailed Park MCAS presentation. I think, I think we have some respectable scores and gains, and percentile rankings, 3 of our 4 schools advanced, which is where we want to go. We want to go in the right direction, and student growth, we had some really significant areas of growth among high needs in all students. And on the achievement level, proficiency is achievement, meaning students who scored proficient or advanced. We had some gains and we had a few declines, but I mean, look at the Laura White grade 5 in math, an increased proficiency of 37%.
Wow.
Pretty significant. So some really good things to be proud of, and I just put it on here to see if you had any questions.
Look forward to the presentation.
Yeah, the 19th.
Yeah, that's great.
And that
19th.
completes my report.
Thank you very much. Some really fun, good stuff there, and the scores are always a pressure point.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see them come out on the upswing, so, but, I think different years, different kids, Lord knows. But-
Well, our goal is higher achievement and higher
Yeah.
growth, and I do apologize for not finishing a sentence in there. I was kind of finishing, and Michelle interrupted me, no.
Throw Michelle under the bus.
Yeah, Michelle. Nice you're sitting that far away. isn't it?
Yeah, she's lucky. Anyways, thank you.
We're always going to be smallish, especially on the high school side, but we're still small at the students who are taking these tests, right? So a couple kids, one way or the other, can really skew the scores, right? Where we have 70, 80 kids taking the MCAS at the high school. Now with sophomores this year are 120 plus and freshmen are 120 plus. That'll hopefully smooth things out a little bit that, just a couple can't. But even that's not that huge a population compared to a lot of other schools.
Oh,
so.
right. I mean, because if 400 or
That's why-
500 students
Yeah,
in a
it's always
in a
important to
sophomore
make sure
class.
people realize it's kind of the devil's in the details. We could have just a couple kids and you look a lot worse than the year before, but it's really not a major issue, right?
Well, and once you break down a couple of the cohorts, you're talking about 1 or 2 is the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's more of an issue in the
Right,
cohorts.
it's the same thing with the dropout rate. If you have one student, it's a high percentage. But we've been working I've been working with Mr. Varga, and I'm really proud to say that one student who did drop out last year, we've been working to re-engage this particular student, and Mr. Varga found a program for the student to go to the Mount. So the student's going to, we're working with the family, and the student's going to, it's not going to work for us as far as, because you get credit for re-engagement, but that's not the issue. The issue is, we want to see this child or the student go on to get their diploma, so really happy about that. And I actually called the mom today myself to tell her how happy I was and congratulations, and to please keep us informed of the progress, and if we could do anything to help, if they need any kind of assistance in being successful, we'd be happy to help, so.
Excellent.
That's very good. I mean, this is what you need to do, is
Yeah.
further society by
Yeah,
having
exactly.
these successes, it's really the important thing.
And that's where equity comes in, right? Making sure we give the right resources to each individual, because everyone requires something different, so.
We skipped and we've done all the new business, and class ranking, I think, is being put up until we have some more stuff on that.
One question on the presentation.
Sure.
We have a meeting that night? That would be the same night as our second meeting in November?
No, we don't have, we
No.
only have one meeting in November.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll advertise it because it's open to the public, obviously
Yeah.
at the high school, target high
I
schools.
think
do
before we
want-
make decisions, we want to have the public be
Right.
involved in that.
Yeah, let's promote it.
Yep. Sounds good.
We'll have to use
Pardon?
our community contacts to put some people in the room. With somebody coming in from outside, we're really gonna have to put the touch
Yeah.
on some people to show, because it's,
Yep.
if somebody from the outside, you
Well-
really have a,
It'd be nice to have some.
well, it's kind of on you. It's like, they're taking their time to come out here to do it. You gotta put some people in the chairs to show
But I
some.
would really encourage as many people from the high school to show up.
Right.
Yeah. Can always feed, usually if you have food, he'll come, or you
There
can
you
do a
go.
raffle.
That's what I'm saying.
Cookies and juice?
But no, we'll really make a concerted effort to
Right.
certainly target the high school folks.
Okay. All right. So then no subcommittee is noted on the agenda tonight,
No.
and I will pass on mine because I didn't get a phone call back on something I was looking at. So I know
Madam
that
Chair?
when people
May-
don't call back, yes, sir.
May I ask one question? We did get the information for the superintendent review. Do you have
I just received that today, so
Do you have any time frame you want to share with us about when you want us to get it to you?
I will give you something within the next week and a half,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
So I just got the information today, and maybe tonight, actually, maybe in the next 10 minutes. Yeah, I have that in the back of my mind, thank you, Pat. So any other thing to come before the committee tonight?
Yeah, I have one thing. If
Please
people
do.
hadn't heard, there was a Massachusetts Superior Court decision today. So in addition to question 2 on charters, there was a pending court case, kind of a civil rights approach to that kids should be able to choose where they want to go to school, and there should therefore not be a cap on charters. The court shot that down, basically saying 2 things. One, that the Constitution of the state says that public education is required. It doesn't say a special kind of public education, like not everyone's entitled to go to a voc-tech school or any other kind of program. It just says the state will require a public education. So under that clause, they threw it down. And then also that the cap, as implemented in the law by the legislature, was intentional to make sure that there was equitable funding across all of the different various public school districts, whether they be charter or regular districts like ourselves. So now people are starting to say, does that mean even if question 2 passes, the courts might throw it out because it's really not constitutional, which we'll see where that goes. But at least for now, the way the court has weighed in says that the cap is implemented by the legislature, and that's the way the law reads, and it should stand as capped as currently
I
exists.
thought it was very interesting that that court case was timed for this timing.
Yeah, they didn't get the result they
And they
wanted.
didn't get the result they wanted, because when I saw that court case, I went, yeah, right, this is clever.
They still have an
Yep.
awful lot of money to spin the results, so.
Right.
They've got the war chest, so, wait till a
Well,
couple
I think
weeks
the
before to
interesting
see what else.
point is that actually, the thing that I think they should talk more about in terms of no on two is, there is no funding in the ballot measure.
Despite ads that say there is.
Yeah, there's no funding source, so there isn't any money set aside to do any if they were to expand the cap, there isn't any money put aside for it.
But the yes
The
ads are
budget is set.
blatantly lying, because they say, this will bring more funding into public education. No, it does not.
No, it
It's one
doesn't.
pie.
It's just
Still,
divvying it up.
it's just one pie.
Right.
I think I think there's some things that, when some of these schools go out of business, and it is private business, then kids are thrown back into schools where they haven't been going, the disconnect on their education at this point, I think is very serious stuff that should be considered, because there's been more than one of these that have folded. And you're throwing that population for the kid themselves, tremendous strain on the kids. And this doesn't seem to come into too much discussion that I've heard, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Madam Chair, not to
Any other
belabor,
topics, sir?
I do have one question, please.
Yes.
A brief update on our talks with, about the fields?
Oh, sure. Yes, I actually, Mr. Parkram was going to be at tonight's meeting, and,
Yeah, I thought-
but he double scheduled himself because he had a BOS meeting tonight. So he had to defer to his
His
boss, yeah.
Right.
So he will be here on the 19th to present to the school committee. Both he
Okay,
and I
good.
will be
Okay.
doing a co-presentation.
Because I'd
We'll
forgotten
have
he
a
was going to be here
PowerPoint to tell
tonight.
you, yeah, the feasibility study and the status and the recommendations, and so we can move forward.
Great, thank you.
Excellent.
Anything else? Any other topics? Any other questions from anybody? I'm going to leave you out, please. Communications? Our
Okay.
favorite communications guru?
Tomorrow, Wednesday, October 5th, progress reports will be issued for grades 6 through 12. Monday, October 10th is no school day, it's Columbus Day. Wednesday, October 12th will be a school budget development presentation by Mr. Luke Schuster. He's a finance consultant with the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents, Massachusetts Association of School Business Officials. That's from 6 to 8 in the high school large group instruction room where we are now. Wednesday, October 12th, progress reports will be issued for grades K through 5. Thursday, October 13th, coffee and conversation with Dr. Malone, superintendent, and that will be over at Page Hilltop at 9:30 in the central office conference room. Monday, October 17th will be a Park MCAS information night for parents, 6:30 in the middle school library. Thursday, October 27th is a curricula expo from 6 to 8 at the High School Media Center and Commons. Saturday, November 5th will be the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, 6 p.m. at the Devons Inn and Conference Center. Wednesday, November 16th will be the class ranking presentation by John Kroll at 6:30 in the middle school auditorium. Is that middle school or high school?
It's going to be the high school.
Yeah. That's what I just put in my phone. Saturday, December 3rd will be the annual ASF lip sync show, 6 p.m. in the high school auditorium. And Sunday, May 21st, the Janice Bresnahan Run for Education at the high school campus. And actually, the Holdenwood Trail date has been set if you want to start that.
Put it in
Not sure
there.
off the
September
top-
what?
September, I'll tell you, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Last Sunday of the month.
Always want to know what time.
It might take me a second.
26.
Do they have results on that yet, Michelle? Since you know the new date, I thought maybe they had,
Yeah, they have them online.
what did they have online?
Yeah.
What were they?
September 24th, 2017.
Jim Ryan, he won the 10K.
He won the
right?
10K. Ethan Matthews from our cross-country team won the 5K. We actually had the Boston College women's cross-country team come out, and a woman from that won the 5, and I think that another woman won the 10, is that right, Pat? Did BC win each of those?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the women from the BC cross-country team.
Yeah, and Jonathan DeForge came in 7th in the 10K.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
It's close, over 700 runners.
I was gonna
Nice.
say, was that a record number?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good number.
Quite a lot,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That's a lot.
So a quick
Such a
note on
gorgeous day for it. Oh,
Yeah.
the budget presentation next week. Just a quick note on that. Dr. Malone and I spoke to Luke Schuster today to give him a better sense of what we're looking for. We'd send him some emails and things, but, at least good to have a personal conversation. So he's excited and ready to come out, and I think he's going to do a great job, which I think will help us in our budget preparations, where the finance committees and selectmen will come into that process with some knowledge of what happens before it even comes to any of us at
Right.
the state level.
yeah.
So, and we don't have to try to educate them on that very complex
Are we getting-
process with a neutral person who's very, very good. I mean, I've heard him speak, and I've seen stuff he's written. He takes this complex topic of school finance and gets very clear about it. He does an excellent job, so that'd be good.
And we're getting pretty good responses from the boards and committees.
Yeah, I reached
Attendance.
out today as a reminder to both Mr. Pompion and Mrs. Garvin. She was on vacation, so I then sent it to Mrs. Dumont, who was the chair of the Board of Selectmen, so I forwarded the email to her. And I saw Mr. Pompion send the email to the board, the BOS and FinCom here.
And
as a
Brian
reminder.
Sawyer
So I
is
think
Yeah,
that-
Brian
I-
Sawyer's
because-
chair now. FinCom,
Brian's the chair of
Shirley.
FinCom and Shirley.
I'm
Brian
sorry?
Sawyer is the chair of FinCom
Oh.
and Shirley.
Yeah, it's not Stu Katie this year, it's Brian Sawyer.
It's Brian Sawyer.
Yeah, I didn't hear back from Mrs. Dumont, so hopefully, but Mrs. Garvin, I sent the notification out right when we set the date, so.
I may try to give Brian a call.
Yeah, we want, that's a
That'd
key
be great.
audience.
Yeah.
Shirley FinCom's a key audience.
Yeah.
Well, no, everybody's a key audience.
I'll do it tomorrow, try to send an email to her.
Anything else? I'm happy to open the floor to whatever conversation people would like. Other than that, I would call for adjournment. It is 8:52.
So moved.
Second.
Not as good as the selectmen meeting in Shirley, which is over before it starts. But all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No abstentions? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure.